He aha te mea nui o te ao. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the most important thing in the world? It is people. It is people. It is people. I'm Cathy Sheppard from Wellington, New Zealand, and I'm passionate about education that is real and that makes a difference for people. So many people find school boring. Some people really enjoy it, but there are so many others that find it really boring. And yet you spend so many years at school. And it would be great if it were interesting and you could use what you were learning. You could see a use for it. When am I ever going to use this? Is something I've heard from many people over the years. Qualifications are part of what's important, but not the only thing. And then there's the question of jobs. It used to be that you'd get a qualification and it would easily lead you into a job. But it doesn't seem to be that easy anymore. I know in Bangladesh prior to the pandemic, 1.5 million students every year would graduate from university without having a job. The jobless rate for young people is rising right around the world. And yet there are so many employers around the world crying out for skilled staff. What is going on? And what can you do from here? A couple of years ago, I was at a youth summit in Nepal, where there were over 200 young people from 17 different countries. Most of them came from education systems that were really structured, learning by rote for exams. Many of them were really frustrated, especially when thinking about the lack of jobs or whether they would ever use that quadratic equation they'd spent so much time learning about. As we all talked together about what was important for them in education, we could all feel the energy growing in the room. The excitement and the motivation was growing. They were getting inspired by hearing each other's ideas and by being able to share their own. They found ways forward together. And it was really interesting to see that their focus was almost completely on people and how to make the quality of people's lives better. When they talked about people, they talked about learning to understand what it's like for others from different countries or different backgrounds, and the importance of supporting others to achieve. They were looking for things that they could do to make people's lives easier, seeing needs and thinking of solutions, and then setting off to make them happen in the communities around them. And this is something that you can do too. Is this the same for you? Can you see needs around you that you could do something about? Do you get excited sharing ideas with your friends and others around you? Because that's what I believe too. We have a tremendous opportunity for good and for bad as people in the lives of the people around us. Every single person wants connection with others. They want to feel seen and understood and loved. And when we make a difference for others, it feels good. It feels good for us. And it feels good for them. And we grow together. And this is about people of any age too. In most schools around the world, students are in classes with people of the same age. It's like you have to be with people of the same age to learn. But is this life? It's not what I see. I have friends of lots of different ages. We all have to live and work with people of different ages and backgrounds. So the sooner that we start learning how to do this, the better, I reckon. Think of your family. I bet you're all different, and it's not always easy to understand each other. And what's more for me, having had the opportunity to work and meet with people from right around the world, diversity is incredibly interesting. So, in order to make a difference alongside other people, there are two parts. The first one is to build your practical skills in the areas that you want to make a difference in. And yes, that will take work. The second one is in your soft skills, the skills that you need to develop to work better with others. That's social and emotional learning. I want to take each of these in turn, but I want to start with you. Who are you? What are you interested in? What do you care about? What are your strengths? What do you enjoy doing that gives you energy? How do you recharge your batteries when you're not feeling so good? Learning about how your brain works and how to keep a positive mindset is really important, and you can definitely work on this. It's really easy to focus on yourself and to put the blame for the things that are not going well onto other people. Are you blaming your teacher for what they're not doing, or for the fact that you're finding it hard? But they are facing challenges too, and they're probably doing their best. We can't change other people. We can only change ourselves. So stay positive, look for solutions, look for what you can do. And then there's communication styles. What communication style do you have? This one's a really big one to learn about, as we can assume so much about others from our styles of communication and end up judging them really harshly. The more that we can understand these different communication styles, our own and other people, and how to communicate differently, the easier we will find it to work with others. And we feel better too. And diversity gets better results every time, even though it can be hard. When things are going well in conversations, it's easy and it's fun. But conversations when we disagree can be really, really uncomfortable. Learning to listen actively will pay off in droves. I'm sure you've heard people say that you've got 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak. This helps me remember to listen to others more than to speak myself. I listen, trying to understand where that person is coming from, what's important to them, and why. This isn't always easy, and it takes patience, practice, and perseverance. Those 3 P's. And then it's about taking action. What do you want to be remembered for? What legacy do you want to leave? What's a positive change that you can make in the world today? What skills do you need to learn to make that happen? And who can you work with? When you start doing things for yourself and for other people, it helps to give you purpose. It builds energy in you and in others. It's inspiring and it's contagious. You don't have to wait for others to start something. You can start yourself. What is the change that you want to see in the world? What can you do to make it happen? And you don't need to feel stuck either. Your path can change as you learn new things, as you find new things to get interested in, and as you work through the challenges you'll definitely face. I've experienced this in my own life, and I'm loving seeing it in my 4 children as well. You will find your path. More than ever before, the world needs students to engage in their own education. So identify what's important for you, look for and learn the things that you need for the future you're wanting. The learning journey will be lifelong. It's exciting. It's hard at times. You will fail at times, but it's so rewarding. He aha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the most important thing in the world? It is people, it is people, it is people. Go well.